Are you wondering what may be like one thing that's really stopping you having more confidence and moving forward in something? Well, today I'm going to share what that is and some points you can do to move past it. If you stay until the end, I have an extra point for you then as well. So many times I've stopped in an area because I was like, is it the right time? Oh, do I have the right resources? Do I have the right amount of money? Can I really do this? And both personally and professionally in kind of a health standpoint in like relationships or kind of relationships in financially and business, it's held me back so many times and it's really frustrating. And do you know what this single thing is? It's fear. And it's fear that we don't even recognize sometimes, but it's always fear. People can claim it's a lack of resources. It is not a lack of resources in this day and age. There is more than everything available right now. It is fear. Fear in many cases. It can even be fear of boredom. I've struggled with that one a lot. I'm very fearful of doing something boring, right? Now, I'm going to go into some points in a minute, but I just want to ask you, how's it helping you realizing you've been caught by fear? Because it didn't do me any favors. Now, you may be thinking, well, it's not. It's I'm not in that relationship because it's just difficult to find someone. Is it really? I mean, it can be. Like there's definitely challenges with things out there, but it's like the reason people give up because they're fearful that it's not going to work out for them. They're fearful that if they put their effort into something it doesn't work out, then it's going to look bad on them or they're not going to feel great. Be honest with yourself. Is it what you're saying is the excuse or is it fear? It's never a lack of resources, it's resourcefulness. And the thing that holds us back is fear. So be very, very honest with yourself. Now, it's really clear to ask yourself, what is it you want? Yes, someone could have done something bad to you. Yes, you could have been hard done by. Absolutely. And that, if you need that time to process these things, absolutely do so. I've needed time emotionally to process things, and I only want to go deeper with my emotional work. That's why I've hired a couple of coaches recently to go into that deeper level in the somatic field and something else as well. But honestly, ask yourself, I was guilty of this. Is it an excuse or is it fear, really? Okay. So here are some points you can do to move past fear because fear's just holding you back. And our mind's very good at coming out of what it calls logic to justify something, but it's not really. It's fear. So, first of all, recognizing it's fear is a key thing. Like the reason you're not where you want to be is because of fear. And this may be, some people might be, well, it's because this, and this. Is it really? Like, well, I want, like, you might be saying, for example, I want to have a loving and happy marriage or relationship, but this person makes it difficult. They make it difficult. Is that really true? Or is it something more you could be doing, but you're not doing it because of fear? Could you be saying, oh, the economy's really hard, like we're going to a professional capacity, economy's really hard. Oh, it's really hard for me to get out there and start a business. So what's the point of even trying? It's just too difficult. Is that really true? Or is it just the fear that you might go out there and fail or might get rejected and you don't want to face that? Sometimes unconsciously it's that fear and we don't want to admit it to ourselves, so we come up with excuses. So recognizing is absolutely key. When I say I'm fearful of this, and this, it takes so much. Like I'm really good with this with my coaches now, they'll tell you. Like I will say, even time to time, I had a bit of an insecurity there, and that was triggered by that. And I'm a little bit fearful. My coaches are like, that is great. Okay, now how do we move forward? You cannot move forward if you don't start with the truth. So recognize it's fear. Okay. You can justify it all day long, but it's not going to do you any favors. You can be like, no, it's not fair. It's this, and this. But honestly, ask yourself if that's true. Right. Okay. The second thing for where you're not where you want to be. The second thing, feel what it might cost you. Like what it or let me phrase that one again. I missed something out then. Okay, the second one is feel what you're going to get if you overcome the fear. If you overcome the fear, what could your life be like? Like, how amazing, and just really feel that inside. So, for example, you got a fear of rejection. You can tell it's getting a bit late now. You got the fear of rejection. Like, what could you get if you overcome that? You could get a business deal. You could maybe meet your right partner. What could you get if you overcome that fear of rejection? It's not saying it won't pop up, but overcoming it, think about what that could do for you. The third one, think about the pain of what it's going to cost you if you don't overcome that fear, if you keep letting it be subconscious and not moving forward. How much? Imagine what it's going to be like in 5, 10, 20 years time. It'd be really painful. In Tony Robbins, we did a process where you felt the past, present, and future. One of his processes, and I was like, "You're crying. People are screaming." I was crying. Like, he told us to scream, so I screamed as well. Lots of people are screaming. They're feeling what would happen if they actually let their fears control them. And then the fourth one, ask yourself, what can you do each day or minimum each week to overcome your fear? Like, if you're scared of talking to people, could you just go to a social a week? Could you say good morning to someone like 2 or 3 times a week? What could you do, those small steps? And then remember to praise yourself when you do them as well. Okay, my bonus point that I wanted to share at the end as well is surround yourself with courageous people. Courage does not mean you're free from fear. Everyone has fear. It's a natural human thing to keep us safe. But if you courage is overcoming the fear by moving through it. So if you surround yourself with people who are willing to take on challenges, move through things, and really come out of that comfort zone, you're going to adapt to that. But if you're around people who never do anything because they're fearful, they make excuses, you're going to adapt to that as well. So even if you're not able to meet up with them, make sure you're listening to someone like an audiobook or podcast who's a courageous person, because then you'll start to adapt to their new way of thinking as well. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. The one thing that holds us back from having more confidence, from having more progress, it's fear, even if we don't recognize it. But when we go do the deeper work, we will. So that's what I wanted to share with you and give you some points on that today. So I appreciate you for being here. You're improving other people's lives by being the best you. And remember, you're in control of your own self-esteem and confidence.